What's up, guys? KAMIKAZE-FOX here, coming to you from the IRL League today, International Racing League. Round 14 at Australia, and we're just waiting for some drivers to sign in. And it looks like we've got some, almost got a full crew today. Blizzard 53 is going to be Matthew Alder. He is the talk of the town today, as he's gone and set a record for most consecutive poles. He sits at 6. He'll be looking to add to that today with 7 poles. He's also won 4 of the last 5 races and put himself in championship contention, second in points, behind your championship points leader, Felix Naguar. Crocodile Bill, that is Cameron Weston Edwards, your president of the IRL League. And ZE3EXER is Sandre Sourhog. Beastie Kids is Louis Quinlan. KLC73 is spectating. That is Cauliflower. If you want to check out his stream on YouTube, it's kind of like cauliflower, but it's Cauliflower. He'll also be commentating on his end. F3Y HD, that's going to be your championship points leader, Felix Naguar. Saba is going to be Saba 2 in the Williams, Ethan Croft in the McLaren, looks like Joshua Dangle in the Sauber, Tyler Thomas in the Ferrari. Wasted Times is Sue Pottertini in the Sahara Force India. SX White, I believe, is TJ McLean, who has a qualifying ban for aggressive driving at Suzuka last time out, where he took out Jorge Carrera. Sosa S. Son, I'm not 100% sure who that is, nor do I know who Aguera is. Praga X30 is Lewis Marshall. Not 100% sure who Honda PA is. Hopefully I've got some notes on some of these guys. Little Piece, that is Jorge Carrera. Super Guy NL is Sebastian Goncalves. And then there is Brandon the Man Glover, who is actually 3rd in your points. He's been in championship contention since the beginning of the year, but he's had a couple of bad outings last time out. So he's really struggling to maintain that points gap. And then obviously me at the bottom here, KAMIKAZE-FOX. So let's see if I can figure out who some of these people are. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. See Sandre's on the chat. We got Joshua Dangle. SX White. That is Gabriel Ryan. That is not TJ McLean. Honda PA. There we go. That is Callum Anderson. Not to be confused with Callum Lantham. Looks like we are getting ready to start. We're going to do a 12-minute qualifying session where all eyes will be on Matthew Alder. Let's see if he can extend on his pole record. The record was set at 5 back in season 1 or 2, I believe, by Cameron Weston Edwards. It sat at 5. Alder has essentially smashed that with 6. He's looking to make it 7. And word on the street is he's going to try taking the chicane towards the back end of this course flat out. See what kind of time he can set. Looks like we've also got Francis McGinn. Looks like he's joined in late, but Francis McGinn will be racing as well. So my apologies for not knowing everybody's name. I've got Gabriel Ryan, Callum Anderson. So the only guys I really don't know is Aguera and Sosa. But they sound like names enough to call them that for the time being. Aguera, I have been told, is Reese Bibby. And Sosa is Dante Thompson. Reese Bibby is, he was one of the Ferrari drivers for a while. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the Ferrari today. I know he just got himself out of the relegation zone in the point standings. I think he's up to 19th in the points. He hasn't made a lot of races this year. And I don't have a whole lot of information on Dante Thompson. And yeah, for the most part, we've got a pretty full grid. 19 drivers today out of 22 spots, so that's going to make for some good racing. And I've been told that Reese Bibby is currently in the Renault today, factory Renault. So we've got some cars leaving the pits now, heading out on their out laps. Looks like that might have been Jorge Carrera leaving the pits. Nope, it was the other Red Bull. And first driver out is Matthew Alder on his out lap. And again, we will be keenly watching him as he heads down into the Sports Center section, turn 3. As he gets his tires up to temperature. It looks like we've already got a problem in Sector 1, and it looks like Alder's car is gone AI for the time being. And it looks like Brandon Glover has left the session. He's not even out on track. Interesting what's going on there. Still have a caution coming up in Sector 1. So possibly some internet issues. This is the chicane right here. Alder's going to try and take later on his fast lap. He says he wants to try and take it flat out. There's a lot of time to be gained doing that, but the consequences could be dire if he gets it wrong. Looks like Brandon Glover has rejoined the session, so he's having some internet issues, it looks like. And Glover, again, third in the championship point standings, will definitely be looking to try and have a good outing today to keep himself in contention. And it looks like Alder is going to start his hot lap down into the 1-2 section. Ooh, almost got that wrong. Down the straightaway into turn 3, the treacherous turn 3, where Fernando Alonso had his massive crash a few years back. Looks like we're getting some glitching here. I'm not sure if that's my internet or Matthew Alder's, and we've got a caution in Sector 3. He's coming up to the section now where he wants to try and go flat. There he goes. Ooh. Not 100% sure if he went flat through there, but it looked like he did drop the left side tires into the grass just a smidge. You see he's out on the Ultrasoft. Dante Thompson has retired from the session. We'll pick that up here in a second as Alder's going to come across the line. Let's see what kind of time he sets, and it looks like Thompson has pulled off. So Alder comes across the line, no time posted yet. Looks like Gabriel Ryan is at the top of the charts, 123.357. Continue to watch Matthew Alders. He's going to come around and try another fast lap. Sue Pallartini goes second fastest. And now Goncalves runs a 1:21.741. And Goncalves has proved to be very fast so far this year. So that's going to be the time to beat for Matthew Alder. Jump on board with him. And he gets it wrong in the grass. Oh, and he goes wide there too. Alder is pushing the car very hard. Felix Naguar's going second fastest with a 1:22.4. Let's see what kind of time Alder's going to set this time across. See if the caution flag in Sector 3 affected his time. He's a 1:22.1. Second fastest, and we've got cautions coming up in Sectors 1 and 3. They're popping up all over the place. So Goncalves is your fastest car on track. The Scuderia Toro Rosso, the 1:21.741. Francis McGinn now goes second fastest with a 1:21.8. That puts Alder third fastest now. Looks like he's on a cooldown lap. We'll pick up Felix Naguar, your championship points leader in the Sauber. 1:22.468 for him. And Louis Quinlan has actually set a good time. Fifth fastest in the Haas. You see Naguar is going into the pits, and this is one of the McLarens. Oh, very close there. We'll pick up Lewis Marshall in the other Haas. He's heading into the pits as well. Gonna try it again. Gabriel Ryan is going to be seventh fastest. Cameron Weston Edwards has only managed to get eighth quickest so far. Joshua Dangle is in the other Sauber. He's proven to be a scrappy young fellow. He's only ninth quickest so far. And Sue Pottertini, that's Leland Sue Pottertini, has managed to make it 10th quickest. A lot of other guys have yet to set a time. No time set by Anderson or Carrera, Tyler Thomas, Ethan Croft, Saba Siktu, Sanjay Sauerhog, Reese Bibby, or Brandon Glover. None of them have set a time. The only driver out of this qualifying session was Dante Thompson when he crashed in Sector 1. So he'll be starting at the back of the grid. We'll pick up Gabriel Ryan in the Williams. He's on his out lap. And Ryan is a former IRL winner. I believe he has 2 wins to his name. Got a couple other guys taking their outlaps now. Tyler Thomas is in the factory Ferrari. He's doing an outlap, as is Sanjay Sauerhog. He's in the other Scuderia Toro Rosso. And Brandon Glover has left the session again. It looks like he might be having some internet issues. So that is probably going to hurt him. He's running third in the championship point standings. We pick up Callum Anderson on his out lap. And Brandon Glover has rejoined the session. So here's Sanjay Sauerhog. A lot of guys in the pits. There's less than 4 minutes to play in the session, so some of these guys are going to take a crack at it. The caution in Sector 2, and that's going to be Callum Anderson, and he is not going to set a time today, folks. The left front suspension is busted. He is done for the day. Unfortunate for him. Here is Saba Siktu in the Williams. We've got a couple of guys starting. Reese Bibby has gone 5th quickest in the factory Renault. Good for him. Gabriel Ryan has managed to set a time for 8th quickest. Felix Naguar is on an outlap. Oh, and Louis Quinlan is been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. What has happened there? Saba Siktu has retired from the session as well. Oh, and he's crashed. Another big time crash, so he's done. Lewis Marshall. He is pulled off to the side. So 2 minutes to play, and with so many... Now Reese Bibby has gone off and crashed as well. What has happened here in this qualifying session? 150 to play, and the cars are dropping like flies. Usually it's a race of attrition, but right now it's becoming a qualifying session of attrition. We're going to pick up Matthew Alder on his outlap, and with all these cautions in all the sectors 1, 2, and 3 all have cautions. It'll be interesting to see if anybody can set a faster lap, and then somebody else has gone off behind Matthew Alder. Caution in Sector 3 again. So Alder lets the factory Renault go by. And it looks like that might have been Ethan Croft is now pulled off in Sector 1. So he's heading off as he tries to back out onto the track. So this has been a very tumultuous last couple minutes. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to set a fast lap with all these yellow flags. We'll stick with Alder. And now Francis has retired from the session as well. Andre Sauerhog is off. Caution in Sector 1 again. We've got Alder's time posted up at the top right. 27 flat in Sector 2. Runs through the chicane. Only a couple of more corners remaining. We'll see what kind of time he can set. Goncalves has retired from the session. He's your proverbial pole sitter right now. Alder's going to come around, make one last effort. And a 121.124 from Matthew Alder to take pole position on the last second. Unbelievable run, 0.6 of a second faster than Goncalves set. That is an amazing time. And considering all the cars that have been dropping like flies in the last couple minutes of this session, what a time to post. Unbelievable. So there's your pole sitter for the 7th race in a row. So Matthew Alder is your pole position. Sebastian Goncalves will be starting 2nd. Francis McGinn will be 3rd. Felix Naguar can only manage 4th. Gabriel Ryan 5th. Reese Bibby 6th. Joshua Dangle gets up to 7th. Lewis Marshall 8th. Cameron Weston Edwards is 9th. Tyler Thomas is 10th. Sandre Sauerhog is 11th. Leland Suparatini is 12th. Jorge Carrera only managed 13th quickest. Ethan Croft did set a time at a 1:27.7. And then Callum Anderson, Sapasik 2, Brandon Glover, Dante Thompson, and Louis Quinlan get their times invalidated. Anderson wrecked. I'm not sure what happened to Saba. Brandon Glover had internet issues. Dante Thompson wrecked. And Louis Quinlan was disqualified from the qualifying session for blocking pit road. So this will make for a very, very interesting race. And Alder and Goncalves have been going blow for blow the last few races. Goncalves has proven to be very fast, and he'll be looking to try and take it to Matthew Alder as Alder looks to try and win his 5th race in the last 6 races, as he has taken this league by storm after joining late in the season. Oh, but we've got rain Oh, the great equalizer. This has just gone from interesting to very interesting. I pity the people that have tuned out. We had a few more viewers. We lost a couple, and that's a shame because this is going to be a very exciting race. If qualifying showed anything, people are struggling for grip out there. Rain's only going to make it that much worse. So this is going to be fascinating to watch. I'll try to keep up with the action as best I can. The first opening laps are usually pretty hectic and hard to try and keep up with. But I will do my best. So we're going to do a formation lap. It's going to be 29 laps here at Melbourne. The cars go around to do the formation lap. And again, Matthew Alder is your pole sitter. That is 7 in a row for him. Sebastian Gonçalves will be behind him. The Scuderia Toro Rosso in the full wets. Francis McGinn in the Red Bull Renault. Felix Naguar is going to be in the Sauber. He's your championship points leader by about 22.5 points. Gabriel Ryan will be starting 5th. Reese Bibby in the factory Renault is 6th. Joshua Dangle is in the other Sauber 7th. Lewis Marshall, who did not leave the line, has proven to be very fast in other leagues such as SRL. He is 8th. Cameron Weston Edwards in the factory Renault is 9th. Tyler Thomas will be starting 10th. Sandre Sauerhog will be 11th. Leland Supartini in the Sahara Force India will be 12th. Jorge Carrera, who had a career day last time out, managed to get on the podium for the first time in over a year, will be 13th. Ethan Croft will be 14th. Callum Anderson, 15th. Sava Siktu in the Williams is your 17th starter. Brandon the Man Glover, hopefully he's got his internet issues worked out. He'll be in the Mercedes, starting 17th. Dante Thompson, who crashed in qualifying, he's in the other Mercedes. He's 18th. And oh my goodness, it looks like he might have hit the wall there. And Louis Quinlan, who is still sitting at the grid, will be bringing up the rear of the field as he was disqualified for blocking pit entrance. So, going to be a tough day for the two Mercedes drivers. Brandon Glover, 4th in the championship points, had internet issues, going to start 17th. Dante Thompson of the other Mercedes, 18th after he crashed out. So they've got their work cut out for them. Usually you don't see the Mercedes at the back of the field in any league that I've watched. Oh, and he runs into the back of his teammate. Hopefully that didn't cause any wing damage. Matthew Alder is pulling up to the line as we get these guys ready for the race. So the grid resets. Lights out. Time to run what you brung. The run down towards turn 1. Looks like Alder gets a good, clean getaway. Oh, and look at this. Not a good start for... Oh, here we go. Francis McGinn on the outside of Gonçalves going into turn 1. We've got guys dropping in the back here. We've got a caution in Sector 1 already. It looks like we've got some parts flying in the air. Oh, Callum Anderson has gone around, lost his front wing. We have got, Gabriel Ryan's had a problem, and he gets pushed wide. Supartini is off into the grass. Oh, and he gets hit. The caution in Sector 2. That's Brandon Glover. He is off in the grass as well. Keep it together, Brandon. Joshua Danga has fallen through the ranks. And as this settles down, we're going to jump back up front now. Gonçalves all over the back of Francis McGinn. McGinn managed to get by him in turn 1. 5-second stop and go penalty for Callum Anderson for exceeding the track limits. Not even half a lap through, and he has already got a 5-second penalty. And Callum Anderson has now left the session. Possibly internet issue, possibly rage quit. I'm sure we'll find out in the next few minutes. Ooh, look at this. He's going to try and dive bomb him. Goncalves tries to get underneath him again. Oh, and look at this. McGinn slides out wide. Goncalves takes the better line. He's going to have a better run coming out of that last corner. He's got the more preferred line headed into turn 1. And he's going to make it work. McGinn's going to try and stick on the outside. He runs into the grass. And McGinn's going to have to give up the spot. And now Goncalves can start his pursuit of Matthew Alder. Felix Naguar now is all over the back of Francis McGinn. And there's a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for Tyler Thomas heading into pit road. And Tyler Thomas has retired from the session. Looks like he's going to call it a day. Possibly internet issue, possibly rage quit. Gotta love it. So we'll pick up this battle for third. This is Francis McGinn working on the back of Sebastian Goncalves. And Francis McGinn is pulled away from Felix Naguar. Lewis Marshall looks like he's lost a couple of spots. Looks like he is slow coming out of that corner. Very slow. 3-second time penalty for McGinn, and Lewis Marshall has left the session. So again, internet issues or rage quit. You be the judge. Jump back up towards the front now. Trying to keep up with everything that's going on the track. Had a lot of guys leave the session here early. Only working lap 2 of 29. It's been very exciting so far. And Matthew Alder sets the fastest lap at a 1:39.994. Is the only driver to crack 1:40 and break into the 1:39s. Rain is coming down very heavy. So Matthew Alder is your leader. 3.5 seconds back behind him is going to be Francis McGinn. He's managed to get his way around Sebastian Goncalves, and now Goncalves is falling into the grasp of Felix Naguar. And Naguar needs to make up as many positions as possible to help not impact losing any more points in the championship. And Tyler Thomas has expressed his disdain over the PlayStation chat. Naguar continues to work on the back of Goncalves. Behind them, Cameron Weston Edwards has worked his way up to 5th. He's got Gabriel Ryan in hot pursuit of him. Reese Bibby is currently running 7th. Dante Thompson, who started towards the back of the field because of a crash in qualifying, has managed to work his way up to 8th, and Sue Partini is 9th. Jorge Carrera has worked his way into top 10. And here we go. Naguar makes the move on Goncalves. Gets the run down into that corner. Now can Goncalves take it back? And it looks like as these two have been battling it out, Cameron Weston Edwards is starting to close in on this battle. And again, Matthew Alder runs the fastest lap, 1:39.713. And Goncalves is now losing time to Felix Naguar. So Naguar will try and set his sights on Francis McGinn, who's currently running 2nd, but McGinn is about 4 seconds up the road from this. And now Cameron Weston Edwards is closed in onto the back of Goncalves. He's under a 2nd. And right behind him is Gabriel Ryan. So we're about to have a 3-way battle for 4th. Unbelievable racing so far. Well, we have the infamous Killian Brady chiming in on the YouTube live chat. Brady, who made a name for himself at the SRL League, took it by storm earlier in the year. Retired halfway through the season to focus his efforts on esports. Held the championship points lead, as you see now that Cameron Weston Edwards has made that move on Goncalves. Is he going to bring Gabriel Ryan with him? Oh no, Goncalves has been pushed wide into the grass. He's not going to be happy about that. Gabriel Ryan now is going to try and work on the back of Cameron Weston Edwards. And now Reese Bibby is all over the back of Goncalves. So Goncalves is having a dismal race. He started second. He's got Reese Bibby and Dante Thompson all over the back of him. Bibby is going to try and make a move down on the inside. He's going to try and outbreak him. He's going to go in deep. Goncalves gets pushed wide a little bit. Good side-by-side racing. And Bibby makes the move. So now Thompson is going to work on the back of him. Now Thompson's going to make the move. Oh, but Goncalves is going to come back onto the inside. They bang wheels. They bang again. Thompson gives up the position, gives it back to Goncalves. And in the midst of this, Reese Bibby is pulled away. Gabriel Ryan is still all over the back of Cameron Weston Edwards. So try to keep up with all the action that's going on track. And now Dante Thompson is all... Oh, and he gets pushed into the wall. Goncalves, that was one of the Ferraris, it looked like, or is it one of the Hondas? Oh, and somebody's gone off. That's Reese Bibby. Oh, and a big lock up there as they head into that corner. So watch Gabriel Ryan now. He's all over the back of Cameron Weston Edwards, and we've got this three-way battle here for sixth. So you got Dante Thompson, who finally gets by Goncalves, but Goncalves gets a good run coming out of the corner. Reese Bibby, who had an off, lost a couple of positions, now trying to work his way back into this fight. They all run a little wide coming through that corner. Oh no, and the Mercedes, Thompson loses traction, gets a tank slapper, and he's stuck in the grass. He gets out, so now he's going to lose a couple of positions. So Goncalves has managed to get his way back into sixth. Cameron Weston Edwards has lost the position to Gabriel Ryan as he gives up fourth. Reese Bibby and Goncalves are side by side heading through this complex here. Ooh, there's no grip on the outside. Look at Bibby, he loses the grip just a little bit. Ooh, and he gets very close to coming to the wall coming out of that corner. He's getting a good run on the outside of Goncalves. Uh-oh, and Joshua Dangles retired from the session. He was running 17th, and looks like might have another internet issue or another rage quit. Looks like we missed what happened here. Goncalves looks like he lost the position to Reese Bibby. Dante Thompson starting to come back into the picture after he had his off. Coming out of the turn 1-2 complex, heading down to the sports center at turn 3. So he had his off. He looks like he's caught up to the back of Goncalves. And Goncalves is going to head into the pits, and so is Dante Thompson along with Reese Bibby. So that is going to move Jorge Carrera up to the third position through the pit sequence. We've got a lot of guys that just headed into the pits. Felix Naguar's coming back out. He's closely followed by Gabriel Ryan and Cameron Weston Edwards. Reese Bibby in the factory Renault coming back out as well. Goncalves has lost a couple of positions down to 8th. Thompson just left his pits at 9th. Supartini is out 10th. Actually, he's going to drop to 11th as Sandre Sauerhog stayed out. So props to Jorge Carrera, who's managed to start towards the back end of this field, work his way up to 3rd. And in the midst of all this, I want to make my apologies for not following the lead, but looks like Matthew Alder has given up the lead. Did he make a pit stop? And that would be why Matthew Alder has pitted, gone to intermediates, it looks like. He's now 15 seconds behind Francis McGinn. So now 13 seconds behind this is you're going to find Jorge Carrera. So it looks like a lot of guys have switched over to the intermediates. Carrera, Sanjay Sauerhog, Louis Quinlan are the only three drivers in the race still that are on full wets. Everybody else has now switched over to the intermediates. The rain does look like it's given up a little bit of its intensity, but still very wet out there. So we'll see if this stuff pays off. And it looks like Matthew Alder has retained the lead. Francis McGinn looks like he's been in and out of the pits as well and switched over to the intermediates. And Jorge Carrera has just gone to the pits, and he'll be on intermediates as well. So we're going to get a little bit of a grid reset after all this. So Matthew Alder retakes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix here. Francis McGinn drops back to second. Felix Naguar is in third. Gabriel Ryan has worked his way up to fourth. Behind him is Cameron Weston Edwards in fifth. Reese Bibby sixth. Dante Thompson seventh. Right behind him is Sebastian Goncalves in eighth. He's also got Sue Parratini in the Sahara Force India right behind him. And Sanjay Sauerhog is battling it out with Jorge Carrera for the 10th and final points-paying position. And a 3-second time penalty goes to Matthew Alder for corner cutting. And Sue Parratini is working on the back of Goncalves. Gets a good run coming out of that corner. Oh, and look at that move. Went from the outside to the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he's in the grass. Goncalves is going to come back onto the outside. Sue Parratini almost made it work. And now Matthew Alder sets the fastest lap at a 1:37.8, so he's picked up 2 seconds over the full wets with the intermediates. And a 3-second time penalty for Saba Siktu, and it looks like Sue Parratini is going to try and make another run at Goncalves here. And Goncalves, oh, he loses the back end of the car, gets a little bit of a tank slapper. And now Jorge Carrera has joined this fight. 3-way battle for 8th spot. Sue Parratini, big time, goes in deep on the outside of the braking zone. Can't get the run out of the corner. Oh, he almost makes contact with him. And another tank slapper. And now a 3-way battle. Carrera's going to get the run on the inside of both of these guys. And he gave it up. Sue Parratini and Goncalves go side by side. Oh, and the back end kicks out of Goncalves' Toro Rosso. Sue Parratini's got the more preferred line heading into this corner, and he pushes him wide. Carrera's going to get the advantage on that one. Oh, and they bang wheels. And now Carrera's trying to pick up 2 and 1. The back end of Goncalves' car slides out again, and Carrera can't make the move on Sue Parratini. Goncalves is now coming back on the inside of these two. He's going to try and make it 2 for 1. Can't quite make it stick, and now we're about to have a 4-way battle for this as Saba Siktu has joined the fold, and you've got a 4-way car battle for 8th spot. Oh, and Goncalves looks like he's lost some grip in the back end of the car, and he's dropped 3 spots now. Goncalves is out of the fight, and Goncalves has left the session. And I will say, probably knowing Sebastian Goncalves, even though he's a very fast driver, he's also a very impatient driver. Probably going to chalk that up to a rage quit on that one. So very exciting couple of laps there. But ultimately, Goncalves calls it a day. So we get back to this 3-car battle now. Still for the 8th spot, Sue Parratini. Oh, and he gets pushed wide, him and Carrera. And Saba Siktu is going to take advantage of this and get a 2 for 1 deal out of it. So it's settled down for a little bit. Saba Siktu picks up the 8th spot. Supartini is 9th. Jorge Carrera's not done with him. Carrera's going to try and pick up that 9th spot from Supartini. And now you've got Ethan Croft joining the fold and Brandon Glover. Glover, who's been a little quiet today, he's had some internet issues. But looking to maybe hopefully pick up a couple of points here. So we take a look at Carrera, work all over the back. Oh, he's got a good run coming out of that corner down on the inside of Supartini. A new fastest lap set by Alder at a 1:37.3. And look at this move. Carrera's going to make that stick. And now you've got Glover going around the outside of Ethan Croft. Very dangerous area to try and outbreak him. Oh, can he make it stick? Glover gets the position, moves him up to 11th. We're going to jump up front a little bit because Gabriel Ryan has started to close in on the back of your championship points leader, Felix Naguar. Sanjay Sauerhog has just picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting as we watch this battle for third, last spot on the podium. He's within half a second. Looks like the rain has actually died down just a little bit. Still not really seeing a dry line form yet. There's still some spray coming off of the back of the cars. And Glover has put the move on Supartini to work his way into the points. So Glover will set his... Oh, and look at that dive bomb move. It looks like by Ethan Croft onto the inside of Supartini for the 11th spot. Didn't work. Supartini manages to hold him off. So that's going to put Brandon Glover into the points, and he'll set his sights on Jorge Carrera as we pick up Gabriel Ryan all over the back of Felix Naguar as they head down the front stretch. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it. And Saba Siktu has left the session. He was running 8th, possible internet issue there. We pick up the battle again with Gabriel Ryan and Felix Naguar. In the midst of this going on, you see this there coming out of that corner in the very back is Cameron Weston Edwards. So he's starting to close the gap on these two. Meanwhile, your leader, Matthew Alder, is out to a very comfortable lead. He's maintaining a 9-second lead over Francis McKinn. This battle is 20 seconds behind that. It looks like Saba Siktu had an internet issue. Looks like Gabriel Ryan's having some little bit of glitchiness. He dives bomb the inside of Naguar, and he pushes him wide. And Ryan is going to take the position. And let's see if I can get Saba Siktu back in here, back into the race. Hang tight. see if we can get him back into the race. Pick up Jorge Carrera has gotten around Brandon Glover. And Saba has dropped 2/10. So he's still AI. So we'll pick up the battle for 5th here. Oh, and Saba's left the session again. I tried. So this is Cameron Weston Edwards working on the back of Felix Naguar for the 4th position. You can hear him trying to put the power down. Looks like we're having some internet issues all over the place today. Not sure if that's their internet or my internet, so I apologize for the glitchiness of it, but so let's give you a grid rundown. About halfway done through it this race, working lap 14 of 29. Matthew Alder is your leader and has been for the most of the race, followed by Francis McGinn. Gabriel Ryan is 3rd. He has solidly pulled his way out of the grasps of Felix Naguar and Cameron Weston Edwards. That is 4th and 5th. Reese Bibby is 6th. Dante Thompson has managed to work his way from the back of the grid up to 7th. Jorge Carrera is 8th, but he's got Brandon Glover all over the back of him, trying to take that position. Saba Siktu has had some internet issues and was running 8th when he lost connection, and he's just given up 2 spots to Leland Supartini and Ethan Croft. Louis Quinlan running quietly in 13th, followed by Sandre Sauerhog. Lewis Marshall also had internet issues, and Callum Anderson has had internet issues. Sebastian Goncalves rage quit. Joshua Dangle wrecked, and Tyler Thomas, I believe, rage quit as well. So we'll pick up this battle for 4th. And I know it seems a little glitchy. I know Cameron does not have the best internet connection where he is. It's a hit and miss sometimes. Still continuing to rain. They're on lap 15, but it looks like everybody at this point has switched over to the intermediates. Matthew Alder did find about 3 seconds of time switching over to the intermediates from the full wets. And there's a very good chance that a lot of these guys are going to have to pit again. The question is going to be whether or not there's going to be another changeover to switch over to slicks, or if it's going to be for more intermediates. And it looks like Supartini's had an off, and that's going to give up the position to Ethan Croft. Put Ethan Croft back into the points for the first time in a long time. Edwards continues to work on the back of Naguar. So if they finished in the position that they're in now, Naguar would still be your championship points leader, but he would give up a good chunk of points to Matthew Alder. We're going to pick up Brandon Glover, also one of your championship contenders, as he is trying to get his way around Jorge Carrera. Carrera had a great career day his last time out at Suzuka. Like I said, finished on the podium for the first time in like 16 months. So props to him. And it looks like Edwards has had an issue and he's given up a lot of time to... looks like he lost about 0.6 of a second in that last sector to Naguar. Supartini still working on the back now of Ethan Croft. Wants to try and get that position back to put him back in the points. We'll pick up Brandon Glover. He sits 4th in the championship point standings coming into this race. Tries to get a run heading down into that last corner. And Supartini wants to get back into the point standings himself.
So Glover still working on the back of Carrera. Oh, and he gets a good run coming out of that corner. Oh, and he's all over the back of Carrera's car. Runs a little wide. Almost drops the left side tires into the grass. Gave up a little bit of time through that section. And it's hard to tell exactly how far the cars are away from each other because of the glitching. I apologize for that. I'm sure it's not my internet. I don't know whose internet it is. Oh, but Glover loses a little bit of the back end there coming out of the corner. Ooh, Carrera was very close to the wall before heading into that corner. Glover cut that one very close. Oh, and he's going to try and dive bomb him. Brakes late, pushes Carrera wide. Good move. And Glover is going to pick up the 8th position. And Louis Quinlan, we just saw, got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting as he works his way around. Him and Supartini are both battling it out. These two are teammates. I'm sorry, no they are not. That is the Haas and the Sahara Force India. Oh, and look at this. Quinlan's on the inside of Supartini. They bang wheels. He's going to come back across the front end of him. Oh, it's very close. Oh, and Supartini runs very wide. While these two are fighting it out for 11th, Crofts manages to pull away just a little bit, and Francis McGinn now has set the fastest lap at a 1:36.6 on the intermediates. So Cameron Weston Edwards has managed to get to the back of Felix Naguar. We just picked this up. He's going to push Naguar wide. And he's going to get the run. You can hear him try and work that throttle to get the power down. The back end of Naguar's car slides out. And Naguar's going to give up another position. And you can see a dry line just ever so slightly start to form on that front stretch. A lot of these guys are still struggling for grip. The intermediates at this point are probably worn out as you see Naguar's going to think about trying to go down the inside of Edwards. Oh, and they bang wheels. Edwards has a more preferred line. Naguar's going to get pushed wide. The back end slides out again. Naguar's able to get the power down just a little bit sooner. Oh, and Edwards' car's just coming out of that corner. Ethan Croft picks up a 3-second time penalty now. And while these two are battling it out, Reese Bibby has started to show his face into the picture as he starts to creep in on this battle. There he is coming out of that last corner at the end of that stretch. So Naguar gave up the position to Edwards. Takes it back, and now Edwards is going to try and retake it again. And Supartini and Ethan Croft are both headed into the pits. That's going to give 10th position to Louis Quinlan. Coincidentally enough, even though Francis McGinn ran the fastest lap a couple laps ago to 1:36.6, he's still giving up more time to Matthew Alder. Alder has now managed to pull out to an 11.7 second lead over Francis McGinn. Hop on board with Edwards as he's going to try and make another push to get that 4th position from Felix Naguar. This is your closest battle on track right now. It's about to be a 3-way battle. You see Reese Bibby has now basically caught the back end of his teammate's car. These 3 cars, the Felix Naguar, Cameron Weston Edwards, and Reese Bibby are within about 3 seconds of each other. And I would have to think at this point, you can hear how easy on the throttle Edwards is coming out of the corner. I would imagine that these intermediates are probably giving up at this point. Joshua Dangle has left the session. He had crashed earlier in the race. It looks like Neguar is starting to pull away, and ultimately Reese Bibby is going to just work on the back of his teammate. See what kind of strategy Cameron plays here. He pulls down to the more defensive line. Bibby picks up a 3-second time penalty. 9 laps to go this Australian Grand Prix, which has been very exciting from start. It should be until finish. The qualifying session was manic as we had multiple cars crash in the very closing minutes. Matthew Alder was 0.6 of a second faster than Sebastian Gonçalves in qualifying to extend on his record as his 7th consecutive pole in the league. And Chavez, we believe, rage quit later in this race after struggling. He was running second and then third. He started second, ran third for the first few laps, and then struggled with grip. Ultimately gave it up. Tyler Thomas was taken out on lap 1. He essentially quit as well. Joshua Dangle crashed. Those are your 3 cars that are out. Saba Siktu, who's running 14th, had an internet issue. Lewis Marshall, we believe, rage quit. Not 100% sure what happened to Callum Anderson. 16th, he also is disconnected. Matthew Alder is your leader. And Reese Bibby, looks like Edwards lets him go by. So Reese Bibby will start his pursuit of Felix Neguar. It doesn't look like Edwards is done with Bibby. Maybe he didn't let him go by. Be interesting to see if anybody makes a late stop for some fresh intermediates and try and make a push towards the end. Maybe get past some of these guys on some of these worn tires. Edwards lost a lot of time through that little section there. So did a little bit of a grid reset for you here. Matthew Alder's your leader. Again, 7th consecutive pole position. He's looking to make it 5 wins in the last 6 races if he goes home with a victory today. Francis McGinn second. Gabriel Ryan, who joined a few races ago, running comfortably in 3rd. Felix Neguar looks like he's been able to pull away from Reese Bibby and Cameron Wesson Edwards for 4th. Bibby got around his teammate Cameron Wesson Edwards for 5th. Edwards 6th. Dante Thompson, who crashed in qualifying, started 18th on the grid. Has managed to work his way up to 7th. Brandon Glover. Now see, Glover's taken the strategy that I would. He's gone into the pits. Goes with a set of full wets. Interesting. So he'll give up a spot to Jorge Carrera. Glover leaves the pits. Sandre Sauerhog is 10th. Louis Quinlan 11th. Leland Supatertini, he's had a great battle earlier in the race for the 6th position. He's managed to fall back to 12th. Ethan Croft is 13th. And those are all the cars that are still... Oh, Francis McGinn has left the session. Francis McGinn, running second place, has left the session with 6 laps to go. He's 12 seconds behind Matthew Alder, but there's a good chance that that's going to put Gabriel Ryan up a position into second, and ultimately it could move Felix Naguar back onto the podium that he was fighting so hard for earlier in the race. Ryan is about 25 seconds behind Francis McGinn. But the one to watch would be Felix Naguar to see if he can make up the time to Francis's car to get back onto that podium. And it looks like we've got some guys heading into the pits now, coming back out. Oh my goodness, and oh, Dante Thompson comes out of the pits and immediately smashes into the wall. Unbelievable. And he tried going out on ultra softs, and as soon as he hit the track, lost the back end of the car, and he's now doing the Austin Powers, and he's left the session. Unbelievable turn of events. So Brandon Glover came in to put full wets back on his car. Let's make sure that that's not a glitch. Now, Glover is in fact on ultra softs. So some of these guys are switching over to the dries. Matthew Alder has left the pits. He is on the super softs. Gabriel Ryan has managed to get by Francis McGinn, as McGinn's car has now come into the pits and is leaving on another set of intermediates. So Gabriel Ryan picks up second. That moves Felix Naguar into the final podium spot for third. Reese Bibby is up to fourth. And I've just gotten word that Francis McGinn had to leave the session. He has other stuff planned that he's got to do, so unbelievable turn of events. His car is still running fifth. Jorge Carrera is now up to sixth spot, and he is going to stay out on the intermediates. Cameron Weston Edwards is struggling for grip in the ultra softs, and it looks like maybe he might have made the changeover a little early. Sandre Sauerhog is eighth. Brandon Glover's dropped back to ninth. Louis Quinlan has had an adventurous day. He's up to 10th. So aside from Matthew Alder, your next car that's on slick tires is 7th spot Cameron Weston Edwards, and it doesn't look like it's going to pay off, as he is struggling in one of the slowest sections of the track just to get the power down. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth have all stayed out on the intermediates. And guys like Edwards and Brandon Glover have both managed to try and get onto the ultra softs to make up some time, but it doesn't look like it's working out. And Gabriel Ryan is going to make the switch over now. He also picks up a 5-second stopping and penalty for speeding into pit road. So this moves Felix Naguar up to second spot with 4 laps to go. Now, it looks like through this section here that it's relatively dry, but you can see a little bit of spray still coming off of the car. There's a caution in Sector 1. Not sure who that would be. So through it all, Felix Naguar has managed to work his way back up to second through pit strategy. And we've got cautions in Sector 1 and 3. Not sure who that's in relation to. We pick up Gabriel Ryan. He's out on the Ultra Softs as well. It looks like he is struggling for grip as well. Seems to me the smart thing to do right now with this little bit of laps left is to just stay out on the intermediates. Caution in Sector 1. Sanjay Sauerhog is going to be leaving the pits as he has switched over from the intermediates to the Ultra Softs. Francis McGinn's car is still running fourth. I wonder if the caution in Sector 1 is for the wing that's been left on the front stretch by Dante Thompson's Mercedes as he came out of the pits. So you've got more guys that have come in and tried this changeover to the Ultra Softs. Matthew Alder's the only driver on the Super Softs. He's 10 seconds ahead of Felix Naguar. Naguar not really gaining or losing any time to Alder at this point, as he's coming up on the back end of a McLaren Honda that's possibly Ethan Croft's car. Croft should get out of the way. The McLaren is holding him up, moves aside. That might be looked at the end of the race. Not sure how much that really impeded the progress of Felix Naguar. So quite an adventurous race for a lot of drivers. Matthew Alder is your leader. Out on Super Softs, he doesn't seem to be struggling for much grip. And he's managed to pull a little bit of time. He's about a half second faster that lap than Felix Naguar was in the intermediates. But good for Naguar to work his way up to second place. He's closing laps. See, there goes Reese Bibby. He's still out on the intermediates. He's third. Francis McGinn's car has gone AI. He's about to lose a position to Gabriel Ryan. So Ryan will drive through McGinn's car, pick up the fourth spot. Props to Jorge Carrera. He's had a hard-fought battle, but managed to work his way up to sixth. Good run for him. Cameron Weston Edwards has struggled mightily today. Seventh. Louis Quinlan has quietly worked his way into the eighth position. Brandon Glover, not the day he was looking to have. He did start at the back of the grid on 18th, so he's managed to work his way at least into the points. But Sanjay Sauerhog has been quiet all day as well. He's managed to pick up the 10th spot. Leland Supartini had an incredible battle earlier, three-way battle with Edwards and a couple other drivers for the 6th spot, but ultimately has fallen down to 11th. Saba Siktu had some internet issues. He is now 12th. He was running 8th when he lost his internet. Ethan Croft managed to work his way into 10th earlier in the race, but wasn't able to hold on to it. Lewis Marshall, again, internet issues, possibly rage quit. Callum Anderson, McLaren Honda, he had internet issues as well. Dante Thompson was in the Mercedes, he crashed. But Chalvez called it a day. Dangle crashed. Tyler Thomas had a wreck on turn 1, lap 1. Lost his front wing and ultimately looks like he may have rage quit as well. And we've got Reese Bibby pulls into the pits. Not a very good strategy. Less than 2 laps to go, and Bibby pulls in, gives up a position to Gabriel Ryan. So Ryan's worked his way back into the back into third for the podium. I really got to think at this point, 2 laps to go, lap 28 and 29, why even bother coming in now for tires? we'll keep watch here. We'll see if Jorge Carrera can close the gap. We're going to caution in sector 3 now. And that is, that's Cameron Weston Edwards coming back out onto the front stretch, and it looks like he has put the nose into the wall, and he's got some wing damage. Brandon Glover just set the fastest lap at a 1:36.4. Oh, but that's easily taken away by Matthew Alder. And Edwards is in the grass, trying to stay out of the way, it looks like. Glover's going to work his way up into 8th position now. Another caution in sector 3. So Matthew Alder has started lap 29 at this point. And I wanted to watch to see... Now Felix Naguar has headed into the pits and given up the 2nd position on the last lap. Why bother? And Naguar's going to drop through the order. That's going to put Reese Bibby back into the position. Gabriel Ryan's going to take over 2nd spot. And I do not agree with that pit call. Bad move by Felix Naguar. He ultimately gives up 3 spots. He was running 2nd. He's your championship points leader, and now he's just giving up a huge chunk of points to Matthew Alder. I don't think he's going to be catching Reese Bibby for the podium on the last lap. Cautions in sector 1 and 3. That's for the wing parts that have been left all over the front stretch by Dante Thompson and Cameron Weston Edwards. Brandon Glover just lost the position. Looks like he might have had a quick off. Edwards gets by him. So Matthew Alder just crossed the line. He is your winner. A lot of these guys are still running that on track. Here comes Gabriel Ryan. So he has managed to work his way into 2nd through a lot of bad pit strategy from some of these drivers. Felix Naguar picks up a 3-second time penalty. Felix has been a great driver all year, but that was probably one of the most boneheaded things I've seen in a long time. As Gabriel Ryan comes across the line 2nd, Reese Bibby is going to pick up 3rd. Here comes Felix Naguar for 4th, and even if his tires were shot, I still would have tried going that one last lap. Props to Jorge Carrera. He has managed to work his way up to 5th. A fantastic run by Carrera today. Francis McGinn, who was running 2nd earlier, left the session, manages to pick up 6th. What an unbelievable race, an unbelievable qualifying session. This whole Australian Grand Prix has been manic from the get-go with the 12-minute qualifying session and the 29-lap race together. You see Matthew Alder there. Props to Gabriel Ryan and Reese Bibby picking up 2nd and 3rd on the podium. So Alder goes 5 for 6. That's 5 wins in the last 6 races. Picks up his 7th consecutive pole and is going to take a huge chunk out of the point standings from Felix Naguar. And I wish I could talk to Felix and figure out what he was thinking on that last lap, pitting and switching over to tires. But here's your finishing order now. And again, that's Matthew Alder at the top, Gabriel Ryan, Reese Bibby 3rd, Felix Naguar with his bonehead pit stop picking up 4th. Jorge Carrera, props to him, great drive for picking up 5th. Louis Quinlan is 7th. Cameron Weston Edwards had a dismal day, comes up 8th. Brandon Glover 9th. Sandre Sauerhog picks up the last points paying position in 10th. And we have Matthew Alder with us. Congratulations on your win, Matthew. That is now 5 for 6. That's 5 wins in the last 6 races and your 7th consecutive pole position. Is there anything that can stop you at this point?
Huh? I was talking to Dad.
We were saying you've gone 5 for 6. You've got 5 wins in the last 6 races, and you've picked up your 7th consecutive pole position. Was there anything that could slow you down this year?
New drivers.
New drivers. And Cameron, you had a dismal day coming in 8th. What happened?
Well, my inters were absolutely worn, stuck in the dirty air of Felix, so had to pit to stop puncturing. Pitted for the ultras way too early, and threw away a chance for some good points.
Rough day for you.
You want to bring Felix in here?
Yeah, I would love to talk to Felix. I would love to know what he was thinking of making that pit stop on the last lap. Because he ultimately gave up 2nd spot.
Mm-hmm.
And really, Matthew has now taken a big chunk out of the championship point lead with Felix coming in 4th.
Yeah, he'll be here in a moment.
So Matthew, you joined very late in the season and have taken the IRL by storm. What are your thoughts on the competition? Who is the toughest driver you've had to deal with since coming in? Very well.
Probably talking to his dad again.
Felix!
Yes.
What did you do? And why did you pit on the last lap? You gave up 2nd position and ultimately gave up a lot of lead in the championship point standings. What was going through your mind?
Nothing was going through my mind. I just had a puncture on the penultimate lap in the last sector, and then I had no chance to control the car, and eventually the puncture cost me 2 positions and very important points in the championship.
Unfortunate turn of events for you. We weren't sure what had happened. Thought you were making a late stop to switch over to the slicks, and I don't know why you would do that on lap 29 of 29, but if you got a puncture, that's unfortunate for you. Any chance you're going to be able to hold off Alder as this season starts to draw to towards the end? Are you going to be able to retain your championship points lead?
It's definitely going to be very difficult in the next 2 races, especially Spa is a very weak track for me personally, but as you can see, as you saw today, everything can happen. I had a lot of bad luck this race, a lot of good luck as well, until really the penultimate lap where I got the puncture then, and everything just went from a very good race where I would have only lost 7 points to Matthew, and now I lost 13. So everything can happen, and I hope, maybe, even though I like Matthew, I definitely hope that he's having a bit of bad luck in the next 2 races as well, like I did today.
So Cam, you've been pretty solid most of the season. Any chance we're going to see you get back on the podium? Spa one of your stronger tracks or one of your weaker tracks?
I'd say Spa would be one of my stronger tracks if it rained. A pretty average track if it doesn't. But I think I'm something now pretty much out of touch in this championship. I think, just trying to work it out in my head, I think I'd be 32.5 points off Felix, something like that. So unless Matthew and Felix both have some bad luck in Italy, I don't think I'm going to have a shot at the championship. Hopefully I'll get another podium before the season's over, but a win? Haven't had a win for 16 rounds. Last win was China Season 3 or something, so that's still going to elude me, but I think a podium probably possible.
And you didn't have any wins either in SRL, so that's 2 leagues you've gone winless in so far, unfortunately.
That win always seems to elude me. I haven't had a single pole in either leagues either, but finished every race, so solid driving, and is the only reason I'm still in championship contention.
Consistency is the key. So, quite a race here in Australia. Lots of drama
Well-
from start to finish. And we'll look forward to the next round, which is Spa. When is that? Next week? 2 weeks?
Monza in 2 weeks.
Monza in 2 weeks. Yeah, that'll be Sunday. That'll be after the 24 hours of Le Mans. So definitely be sure to check out that race. Be sure to check out the IRL YouTube page as well. Subscribe, like, comment. Monday, you can check out the review video for all the IRL action that took place this weekend. We had racing at the GT Sport League yesterday, the IRL F1 League today. You can also check out other vids with some of the history of IRL. They come out, every Wednesday or Friday? Cameron?
Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday. So look for new videos there Wednesday and Friday on the history of IRL. And check me out at KAMIKAZE-FOX on YouTube as well, because I have part of the IRL season. I believe the first 7 races are on my page until they finally got theirs going. And we'll look forward to the next round.